Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Evansville Otters Baseball. Your Evansville Otters taking on the Washington Wild Things in this finale of this three-game set here in Washington, PA. Evansville comes into this one 21 and 31. Washington 29 and 24. Evansville in the midst of an 8-game losing streak, while Washington has won this series. They have now won two straight against these Otters in walk-off fashion. I'm Riley Angel here with you. Thank you so much for spending your Thursday night with me here with these Evansville Otters again. The Otters struggling a little bit right now, midst of that 8-game losing streak, but it hasn't been all bad. They've played okay for most of this streak that they've been on. Just a lot of misfortune down the stretch late in games that has really been their demise for most of this 8-game streak. Last night we take a look and we'll recap it for you. Evansville losing 8-7 in walk-off fashion in that one against Washington. Paven Parks had a good day. He had a 2-run homer in the 5th inning. JT Benson also with a 4-hit day. He went a 4 for 5, a stolen base, and RBI, 4 singles for those 4 hits. Those two really the only ones that could get it going offensively. Keenan Taylor had a big hit in the 7th, an infield single that drove in a run on its own, and then a throwing error drove in 2 more to tie the ball or to take the lead in the ball game at that point. Washington in the 8th, after a 7-6 Evansville lead, was able to tie it up with one of their own. Both bullpens holding strong in the 9th, and then in the 10th inning, Washington was able to walk it off. Again, 8-7. That final, Evansville had their 7 runs on 7 hits, no errors, while Washington, with 8 runs on 13 hits, they committed 2 errors. And again, throughout this streak, it's been really rough losses for Evansville. They've had 3 straight 1-run losses. 5 of their last 6 have been 1-run losses. So it's just been really rough. When you're losing that many close games, it just really stings each time you go out there and you lose another 1-run contest. And all of those 1-run games are games where they scored early, just weren't able to hold it down the stretch, other than the one on July 3rd against Mississippi, where they came back and almost were able to pull off a miraculous comeback in front of nearly 7,000 strong at Bosse Field. Braden Scott, Kobe Foster, the 2 aces for these 2 teams going on the bump today. We'll tell you more about them and the starting lineups when we come back here on 96.9 WYIR on the Otters Digital Network.
Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800. Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life-enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org. Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VANDCASA.com.
Welcome back inside the Papa John's pregame show. Papa John's is the official sponsor of the Otters pregame and postgame shows, available every game night, 20 minutes before and 10 minutes after each Otters game on the Otters Digital Network, the home team network, and now on 96.9 WYIR. Taking a look at the standings real quick, Washington leading the Central Division 29 and 24. They sit Evansville in 4th place in the Central 21 and 31, 7.5 games back of the leading Washington Wild Things, now 1 game back of the 3rd place Florence Yoles, who are 22 and 30. Taking a look at the lineups for both of these teams, beginning with the Washington Wild Things. For Washington, it'll be Robert Chayka to lead it off. He's in center field, followed by Carlos Amezquita. He is the second baseman. Batting third, Tommy Caulfield over at third. Cleaning it up, Wagner Lagrange, the left fielder. Andrew Check, the first baseman, batting fifth. In the sixth hole, Ethan Wilder, he got a day off yesterday. He is the shortstop. Newcomer, Francisco Del Valle, the right fielder, is batting seventh. Jake Houts, the designated hitter, batting eighth. And then rounding it out, 3 Hillier behind the plate, batting ninth. For your Evansville Otters, it is as follows. Leading it off, David Mindham. He's at first base tonight. Dennis Pierce, the third baseman, batting second. JT Benson over in right field, batting third. Cleaning it up, the shortstop, Paven Parks. He now has 2 straight games with a home run. LJ Jones, the designated hitter, batting fifth. Graham Brown in center field, batting sixth. 7-hole, Keenan Taylor over in left. Logan Brown behind the plate doing the catching. He's batting eighth, and then rounding it out, Randy Flores. He is at second base tonight for the second night in a row after being signed and activated yesterday onto this 24-man active roster. Both teams sending a left-handed thrower out on the mound today. For Washington, it's Kobe Foster. We've seen him earlier this year. Historically, he's been really good against this Evansville team, but the Otters were able to get a hold of him back on the 17th of June, the first time they saw him. He only went 4 innings in that one, giving up 7 runs, 6 of them earned, only striking out 3. The rest of his season has been tremendous. 6 innings against Schaumburg, only allowed 1. 6 innings against Florence, only allowed 1. Another 6-inning performance against Schaumburg, where he only allowed 1. And then his last outing on the 4th of July at Mississippi went 5 and didn't allow a single run. This will only be his second home start of the year, so we'll see how he does towing the slab here at EQT Park. Braden Scott on the mound for your Evansville Otters today, named to the Frontier League All-Star team yesterday for the Midwest Conference as a late addition. He has been really good in the entire month of June and to start July. Dating back to May 31st, he has at least gone 6 innings, and dating back to June 7th, he has gone at least 5 2/3 and hasn't allowed more than 3 earned runs in a start. His last time out on July 4th against Schaumburg went 5 2/3, allowing 7 hits, 2 earned runs. He did walk 4, but struck out 9. That's another thing that has been a big, strong point of Braden Scott's game since June is the strikeout numbers. I'll read you his strikeout numbers since June 12th. 8, 9, 8, 8, and then 9 again. So he's been punching out batters left and right since the beginning of June, and you hope that he's able to do it here against Washington in this one. The last time that Braden Scott faced Washington was at the beginning of June, where he went 6 innings, only allowing 1 run, walking 5, but striking out 6, working around that traffic. He did allow 5 hits as well in that start. He enters today with a sub-4 ERA at 3.86. That is the first time this year that his ERA has dipped below that 4 mark. Kobe Foster, a 3 ERA on the dot with a 1-1 record. When we come back, it'll be the national anthem and then first pitch here on 96.9 WYR on the Otters Digital Network.
Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VANDCASA.com. Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and More can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800. Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life-enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org. Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND CASA.com. Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812 464 7800. Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org. Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812 464 7800. Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org. Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812 464 7800. Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org.
Back here on the Otters Digital Network, your Evansville Otters about to take on the Washington Wild Things here in this finale. Washington sending out Kobe Foster to the bump here in this series finale. Foster, so far this year, has been good. He has a 3 ERA, 27 innings pitched. So far this season, he has only given up 9 earned runs, striking out 20, but has walked 10, only given up 2 long balls as well. Another thing to note, he has not gone over 100 pitches yet this season, and this only his second start here at EQT Park in 2025. See how he does here against Evansville. Historically, as mentioned in the pregame show, has been very good against the Otters. Gave up 6 runs in the last time that he faced them in those 4 innings. He gave up 11 hits, 7 runs, 6 earned, a homer, 3 strikeouts, a walk as well. But before that, he had gone 6 straight where he hadn't given up more than 2 earned runs in a start. So we'll see which Kobe Foster we get tonight. The left-hander will face a Evansville lineup that looks like this. Will move over it quite quickly. It'll be David Mendham, Dennis Pierce, JT Benson, the first 3. Then Paven Parks, LJ Jones, and Graham Brown in the middle. Rounding it out, it's Keenan Taylor, Logan Brown, and Randy Flores. The defense behind Foster is as follows: Wagner Lagrange over in left, Robert Shaka. In center, Francisco Del Valle over in right field. At third is Tommy Caulfield. At short, Ethan Wilder. At second, Carlos Amezquita. And at first, Andrew Check. Behind the plate, it's 3 Hillier. He is the battery mate for Foster. David Mendham to lead off this one. He has a 17-game on-base streak currently, as tonight's first pitch is in there for a strike, 0-1. 82 degrees our game time temp. Sunny blue skies overhead. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed right through the high fastball, 0-2. A little bit of wind, nothing crazy. Just 3 miles per hour. Mendham, a left-handed hitter, lefty-lefty to lead off. Foster begins the wind, steps back in the 0-2. High, 1-2. Mendham on the year, 313 the average, 2 homers, 13 ribbies. Driven 24 walks this year as well. Next offering. Swung on, pops foul the opposite way down the left side. It's going to stay at 1-2. Evansville, midst of this eight game losing streak, boy, they're just in desperate need of a win, no matter how it comes. The pitch, down and away, 2-2. Last night was another one where you felt like they had control of it going into the late game, but Washington team both nights has shown great resolve to win them in the late stages, both in the 10th inning. Pitch clock violation called on Foster, so it'll be 3 balls and 2 strikes now. We'll have our first payoff pitch. Foster looking over towards the first base umpire, Alex Lowry. But he'll reset, step back on the mound, and we'll have a payoff pitch. Foster begins the wind and delivers. Swung on, fouled right back into the screen. It stays at 3-2. If Evansville was able to do this against Foster, which is draw out long at bats, make this guy throw a ton of pitches. Again, hasn't thrown over 100 yet this year. Maybe you can get this guy out by the 5th inning. The payoff. That's going to be left high, ball 4. So Mendham reaches via the leadoff walk here in the first. Well, he'll have no stress extending that on-base streak now at 18 games for him. That is the longest of any Otter this season. Now Dennis Pierce. He has a bit of a streak going as well. He's at 13 games straight he's been on base. Foster working out of the stretch, fires. Swung on and missed. Out in front was Pierce. It's 0-1. Dennis was hitless last night. Did draw a walk in his last at-bat or plate appearance. The 0-1. That one catches the zone up high as well. It's 0-2. Pierce batting .333 OPS over 1,000. Mindham over at first, barely a lead over there at all. The pitch. Swung on, popped in the air to the right side and twisting foul out of play. So it stays at 0-2. Evansville team for just the second time this year has fallen to last place in the Central Division. That's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on it, hit in the air to center. Should be playable for Jacob. Ranges over to right center and makes the catch for the first out. So one gone here in the top half of the first brings up JT Benson. The last time Evansville was in fourth place in this division was back on June 15th. They are only one game back of Florence, so could get it back tonight as the pitch to Benson is swung on and lasered into left. Over to it is Lagrange, makes the catch on the line for the second out. Benson just a tad out in front of it. Mindham retreating back to the bag at first, so quickly 2 outs after the leadoff walk, and now it's Pavin Parks. Parks has homered in 2 straight. One to dead center field on Tuesday, the one yesterday over the right field video board. So 2 tape measure home runs is the pitch. In there for a strike, 0-1. Just a reminder, 325 down the lines, 405 dead center field with a tall wall acting against the batter's eye. Traditional scoreboard in left center, video board in right center. Lefty-lefty the matchup. Foster with the 0-1 pitch. Never mind a throw over to first, no play. Usually a pull shift on Parks, but nothing crazy here with 2 away in the inning. The pitch. Swung on and missed. It's 0-2. Foster pulling the string there. Parks steps out of the batter's box now. Promptly steps back in. Man, if the offense could get going here in the first inning like they did yesterday with their ace on the mound, they would be in good spirits at the 0-2 pitch. Swung on and hit lazily in the air to center. Charging in is Jacob. Shallow center field makes the catch for the third out. So after a leadoff walk, Evansville can't take advantage. We now go to the bottom of the first, no score here, 96.9 WIR on the Otters Digital Network.
Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life-enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org. Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND CASA.com. Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812 464 7800.
Braden Scott on the mound for Evansville. 386 his ERA. He's been really good his last few times out. Went 5 2/3 last time against Schonberg, only allowing 2 runs, struck out 9. Last time facing this Washington team in 6 innings, only allowed 1 run, striking out 6, and worked around 5 walks. Robert Chayka to lead it off here against Scott, who begins the wind in the first pitch. Up and away corner for a strike, 0-1. The defense behind Scott, Keenan Taylor in left, Graham Brown in center, JT Benson over in right as the 0-1. Missing outside, it's 1-1. Dennis Pierce at third, Paven Parks at short, Randy Flores at second base, and then David Mindham over at first. Behind the plate is Logan Brown. The pitch, missing low, 2 balls and 1 strike. Chayka quickly ahead. Chayka 323 his average, has hit 1 homer, 11 ribbies, 35 walks for him on the year. The pitch, up and away, 3-1. Scott likes to work quickly. Stands on the far third base side of the rubber. 3-1. Swung on, line drive into center. That's going to drop down for a knock. So a leadoff single for Robert Chayka, hard hit. Right back up the gullet. So a leadoff man on here for the Wild Things. Brings up Carlos Amezquita. Amezquita was the walk-off hero yesterday. Pierce is playing a little in on him, possibly expecting a bunt. We'll see, as the first pitch from Scott out of the stretch is swung on and a jam shot foul into the seats down the right field line. 0-1. Scott has a really good hold, working out of the stretch, does a good job of not getting any runners on him as the next pitch misses inside. 1-1. We'll see if the Wild Things try to test it. Scott has picked off a couple of batters this year. He sets with his hands at belt level. 1-1. Up and away, 2-1. Over at first, Chayka has only stolen 5 bags this year. He has been caught 3 times, so wouldn't expect him to go here only in the first inning. The pitch. Swung on, fouled off again to the right side and into the seats, 2-2. Amezquita standing on back into the right-handed side. Slightly open stance for him in the box. Scott fires the 2-2. Swung on, grounded down the third baseline, backhanded on a slide, throw to second for 1. Flores with the turn to first, not nearly going to be in time. But a nice play by Pierce over at third to take a hit away from Amezquita. Quita will get over to first via the fielder's choice, replacing Chayka. Now Tommy Caulfield. Caulfield has a 326 average, 940 OPS. The lefty swings and grounds into short, just past the reaching glove of Parks. Sneaks through for a single, went against the shift to the left side of the infield. On the first pitch, and now 2 runners on a softly hit grounder. It brings up Wagner Lagrange. Lagrange homered in the first game of this three-game set. That was his fourth of the year. A chance to open the scoring early for Washington. Runners on first and second. One away, bottom one, no score. Scott into the wind and the pitch. Missing outside, 1-0. This is where Evansville really hasn't been in trouble. First two games of the series is early on in ball games. Scott fires. Swung on and missed, 1-1. Yesterday took an early lead. The day before that took the first lead of the game in the fourth. So they haven't trailed early in ball games yet here in Washington. Scott looks towards second. Now fires. Bender catching the outside corner, 1-2. One and two pitch now. Called strike three, split the plate. First German American Bank strikeout for Braden Scott, and a big one here in the first. Brings up Andrew Check with a runner in scoring position. Really, he's one of those guys where you have a runner on base and he's in scoring position, no matter where he's at. Heavy pull shift on him as it has been all week. Flores playing in shallow right field. Parks up the middle. Lefty-lefty the matchup. Scott the first pitch into Check. Front door breaking ball in there for a strike, 0-1. Scott holding that runner at second, the pitch. Swung on, hit in the air to left pretty well. Back on it, Taylor at the track. He leaps and it's out of here. Andrew Check opens the scoring with an opposite field homer. 3-0 Washington here in the first. Fourteenth homer of the year for him, now north of 50 RBI at 52. And the Wild Things pick up right where they left off last night. That time thanks to Andrew Check going the other way. And now it's Ethan Wilder to bat. So they tagged Braden Scott early as the pitch. Wilder takes it for a strike, 0-1. Not something that a lot of teams have done through the first time through the order as the pitch. Swung on, smashed the opposite way on a line into the stands. It's 0-2. But Scott, a veteran, seen it all as he delivers. Swung on and missed, strike three. So Braden Scott with his second German American Bank strikeout to end the inning, but not before Washington strikes first. We now go to the second inning, 3-0 Wild Things here on 96.9 WIR on the Otters Digital Network.
Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800. Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life-enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org. Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND CASA.com.
3-0 Washington after one. Kobe Foster on the mound here for this second inning. He will face L.J. Jones, Graham Brown, Keenan Taylor, the 3-2 up. Andrew Check getting the scoring started in the bottom half of the first with an opposite field homer. Now Evansville with some work to do. Trails by 3 early. L.J. Jones stands in on the right-handed side. First pitch that he sees is taken up and away for a ball, 1-0. Jones hitless in this series so far. Hitless dating back to the last game against Schaumburg. The pitch in there for a strike, 1-1. So he tries to turn around his misfortunes at the plate here in this series finale as the pitch is swung on and missed. Chased it outside on the changeup, 1-2. That's just one of the things that Jones has been struggling with is the timing. Seems to be really off balance right now. That front shoulder's been flying open, especially on changeups. The pitch outside, 2-2. But we've seen how good Jones can be as the pitch swung on and popped up on the infield right side. Foul territory, Check under it and makes the catch, 1 away. Now Graham Brown. Brown 0 for 5 in the loss last night. The right-handed hitter waits the first pitch from Foster, who kicks and fires. Outside, it's 1-0. Brown, 7 homers on the year, 34 RBI. 1-0 now. Outside again, 2-0. Next one in from the lefty. Bounced it, so Brown quickly ahead in the count, 3-0. Evansville had a leadoff walk in the first inning, but 3 straight outs as the 3-0 pitch in there for a strike, 3-1. Led to that inning concluding without a run scoring. And that's one of the things Evansville's been struggling with is hitting with runners on base. The pitch. That one called a strike. 3-2. Graham Brown was beginning to take off his shin guard. Thought it was ball 4. So 3-2 the count, 1 away. Top 2. 3-0 the score. Washington ahead early. The pitch from Foster. That one misses high, and Graham Brown will take a stroll down to first. Second walk of the night already for Foster. Graham Brown not afraid to steal bases. And honestly, you can do anything you can to try and spark some offense, get back into this one. Brown has 10 stolen bases on the year, only caught twice. Keenan Taylor, the batter. Foster looks towards first, and the pitch is going to be high, 1-0. Keenan Taylor steps off. Now we'll Step back in. Foster agrees with Hillier. Setson out of the stretch delivers. Swung on, bounced over to the third, wide of the bag, foul. It's 1-1. Taylor, one of 3 Evansville players that will be playing in Tri-City in the All-Star game next week. He'll be a starter on that squad. He's just been so impressive as a rookie this year. As the next pitch swung on and fouled back into the glove of Hillier, 1-2. He's one of those guys where you didn't really know what to expect coming out of Purdue, Power 4 program. He has tore it up so far, while in the Evansville uniform, the pickoff move was close, but back with a dive was Graham Brown. Tied for the lead on the team in homers as another pickoff move. That's Foster's second disengagement. Foster sets. Brown leads off. Takes off. The pitch. Swung on. Line drive into center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Brown taking the round at second. Gets into third easily as he was going on the pitch. And now runners at the corners with only one away for Logan Brown here in the second inning. And now Keenan Taylor on first, who also has stolen quite a few bags this year, 9, but the ratio not all that great. He's been caught 7 times this year. First pitch into Logan Brown. Squares around, puts a bunt down. First base side. There is no play anywhere. A run scores for Evansville on the bunt single from Logan Brown. He popped it up into no man's land on the infield in between first and the mound. So a bunt single RBI for Logan Brown gets the Otters on the board here in this one. Keenan Taylor had a really bad read on it. Broke back towards first to begin, but then hustled into second. No play there. Here's Randy Flores. 3-1 the score. Top of the second. 1 away. Runners on first and second for Evansville. The pitch from Foster is in there for a strike, 0-1. Flores was hitless last night. Did reach via the walk in his Otters debut. The 0-1. That one catches the outside half. It's 0-2. Foster looks back towards second. Now comes to the plate. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Never mind. Hillier couldn't hold on to it as it was foul tipped. So Flores gets a second life. It's going to stay at 0-2. And the next pitch. That one swung on and missed. First strikeout for Kobe Foster here in the second inning. Brings David Mindham to the plate. On first, still Logan Brown. On second, Keenan Taylor. Mindham walked to lead off this ball game an inning ago. The pitch. Swung on and missed right through the high fastball. It's 0-1. The Otters getting one back here in the second inning. That's exactly what they needed. Show that they're still around. The pitch. Runner takes off for third. Outside for a ball. Throw down to third. He's going to catch him by 5 feet. So Taylor Cott's trying to swipe third base, and we end the second that way. Evansville with one on the board, though, on 2 hits. They leave 2 runners on here on 96.9 WIR on the Otters Digital Network.
Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800. Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life-enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org.
Braden Scott back on the mound. He'll face Francisco Del Valle, Jake Houts, and 3 Hilliard. The 3 due up. Del Valle making his first appearance in a Wild Things uniform was signed today as the pitch. Missing low for a ball, 1-0. Spent the first part of this year as the next pitch swung on, tapped foul to the right side. In Puerto Rico during the Puerto Rican Winter League, didn't play particularly well in 8 games, just batted 167. Was with the Los Angeles Angels for a little bit as the 1-1. Swung on, tapped foul again. It's 1-2. Last time an affiliate ball was back in 2022 with Tri-City, the high A affiliate of the Angels, who batted just 216. The pitch. Swung on and he popped him up. Shallow left. Hustling in on it is Taylor. He calls everybody off and makes the catch for the first out. Brings up Jake Houts, another guy who is brand new to this team. Just 1 for 2 so far this year. Has only played in 1 game here in 2025. The first game of this 3-game set. The pitch to him is low, 1 ball, no strikes. The designated hitter tonight. Houts takes inside. It's 2-0. Scott gave up that 3-run homer an inning ago in the first. Again, not usual as the 2-0. Swung on and missed, 2-1. And he gives up a first inning homer or first inning runs at all. The pitch. Swung on and bounced to second. Gobbled up by Flores. Tossed to first in there. 2 away now. So quickly 2 gone here in the second inning. Brings up the 9-hole hitter and 3 Hilliard. He's the backstop for this Washington team here tonight. In this later game here in Washington. 7:05 Eastern time. The first pitch is the one into Hillier. Bins in there for a strike, 0-1. 6:05 back home. Evansville team, after their game tonight as the 0-1, missing outside 1-1. We'll travel back to Evansville, play a 3-game set, the last 3 home games of the first half before the All-Star break against Gateway as the pitch. Missing high, 2-1. 2-1 pitch. Swung on, fouled back, 2-2. Just really hope that this team is able to find an answer. And I really think with the way this team has been struggling, I don't think the All-Star break could have come at a better point for Evansville as the 2-2. Called strike 3 on the outer half. Braden Scott with his third German-American bank strikeout ends the second inning. And now go to the third, 3-1, Washington in front here on 96.9 WIR on the Otters Digital Network.
Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life-enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org. Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND-CASA.com. Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800.
Top of the order due up for Evansville after last inning ended with David Mindom at the plate. Keenan Taylor caught trying to steal. This will be the second time through for this Evansville order against Kobe Foster. The Otters were able to strike in the top of the second with one of their own after the 3-run homer from Washington. Braden Scott with a 1-2-3 inning in the bottom of the second, so we'll see if Evansville can continue a good offensive attack. As Mindom stands in on the left side, he walked his first at bat against Foster, who looks in and begins his windup. Kicks, turns, fires. Bender falls in at the knees, 0-1. Now at 63 miles an hour from Foster. Next one in. That one missing down and away, 1-1. Foster once again, the pitch swung on and missed, 1-2. Evansville, wow, this is their longest losing streak of the year, the longest in the Frontier League as well. Not close to the longest in franchise history. That came quite a while ago as the 1-2 pitch swung on, fouled off left side into the seats. 1-2. That all-time worst losing streak was all the way back in 2009. I was at 13. And again, I mentioned this in the top of the second inning. Yes, you don't want to go on an 8-game losing streak. That's for sure. As the 1-2 pitch in swung on and grounded softly to second, fielded by Amezquita, throw to first in time for the first out. But if you would choose any time to do it, it would be right before the All-Star break So you get a week off, able to reset mentally, trying to work your way back up after the break. But a tough road trip when they do come out of the break, that's for sure, against some really good teams. As here's the first pitch into Dennis Pierce. Is swung on and popped up on the infield. Should be playable. Under it is 3 Hillier, makes the catch, 2 away. As out of the break, they play Lake Erie up in Avon, Ohio, just outside of Cleveland. That'll be a 3-game series, and then they play Quebec, the best team in the Frontier League. They currently sit at 40 and 13. They end that trip by playing Ottawa before coming home finally for the end of July. But that's a really hard 12 or 9 games that they play right out of the break. The pitch is low, 1-0. And even Ottawa, they're one of the hottest teams in the league right now. They've won 5 straight. They're 9-1 in their last 10. They've climbed all the way back up to third in their division, where just a couple of weeks ago, as the next pitch finds the zone 1-1. They were last behind Trois Rivières. Benson awaits now the 1-1 from Foster. Swung on and missed. It's 1-2. Loser really needs to win this one, stay still at least one game back of Florence, as Florence playing Brockton currently. In the bottom of the fourth, Florence up 6-1. 1-2 pitch. Called strike 3 on the outer half. So Benson goes down looking. Second strikeout for Kobe Foster here in this ball game. So we're through 2.5, 3-1 the score, 2-run lead for Washington here on 96.9 WYR on the Otters Digital Network.
Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and More can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800. Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org. Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND
Here, bottom of the third, 3-1, Washington in front. Braden Scott back out for a third inning of work. Send down these Wild Things 1, 2, and 3 in the bottom half of the second. Faces Robert Chayka and the rest of the top of the order here in the third inning for the second time through the lineup. As the first pitch is in there for a strike, 0-1. Scott quickly into the wind and fires. Another one finds his own down and in. 0-2. Scott, even if he gives up a couple of runs, it's the 0-2. Swung on, chopped right back up the middle over Scott's head, charging his Parksville to first in time, 1 away. We saw it in his start up in Lake Erie, where he gave up 7 runs, but still stayed in the ball game through 7 innings, battled through those 7. And so you know he's good for you no matter. And he's gone as many as 115 pitches this year, has Scott. Next one. Swung on, chopped to third, fielded by Pierce. Throw across the diamond on the money, 2 away. When he's on a roll, this is what he gives you. Quick at bats. Here's Tommy Caulfield. Singled and eventually came around to score on the check homer back in the first. First pitch to him. Front door bender falls in for a strike, 0-1. Oh, and 1 pitch. Missing down and away, 1-1. Caulfield, another powerful, dangerous bat in this lineup. You look at the numbers, see only 6 homers and only 20 RBI is the 1-1. Missing outside 2-1. You wonder, especially with how we've seen him play, the homer he hit yesterday, the pitch. Really nice front door bender, just didn't find the zone. 3 balls and a strike. Slight pull shift on the infield for Caulfield. Flores a little deeper at second as the pitch. That one missing outside for ball 4. Braden Scott wondering where that one was. Same with Logan Brown as Caulfield takes the walk down to first. That's Scott's first walk of the evening. Now brings up the cleanup man, Wagner Lagrange. Lagrange 0 for 1. Struck out looking his first time. Scott taking his time, getting back to the mound and onto the rubber. A couple of calls that maybe he thought didn't go his way in that previous at-bat against Caulfield. Resets, out of the stretch, fires. Inside, 1-0. Just hope that as the next pitch runner goes, swung on, shot foul, right side into the Washington bullpen, 1-1. Just hope that maybe it doesn't come around to bite Scott, that 2-out walk. One of the classic tropes in this game is leadoff walks, 2-out walks, especially 2-out walks, always seem to come around and score, even if it's definitely not always. 1-1. Swung on once again, shot foul the opposite way to the right side, and it's 1-2. Scott agrees, hands set just above the belt. The 1-2. Swung on, bounced to short, charging his Parks. Fields throws in the dirt, scooped out by Mindham in time for the 3rd out. So that'll end the 3rd. 3-1 still. Washington in front here on 96.9 WYR on the Otters Digital Network.
Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND-CASA.com. Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800. Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org.
Back here, top half of the fourth. It'll be Paven Parks here in this top of the fourth inning. He is 0 for 1, flew out his last time. Kobe Foster has looked good through the first three, has a couple of strikeouts, worked through some traffic, only giving up one in the second inning. That was on a bunt single. First pitch from Foster to Parks. Front doored him, 0-1. Paven, boy, he's heated up. Really love to see it because beginning of the year was put in the middle of this lineup and really struggled as the 0-1. Swung on, bounded foul down the first base side. 0-2. You looked at his numbers last year, the production he had last season, and it looked great, but numbers just first month of the year kind of scuffling. But once he hit that first homer, boy, he took off. Tied for the team lead now in that category, the 0-2. Swung on, and Foster popped him up. Playable on the infield, shortstop Ethan Wilder camps under it and makes the catch. I was going to say, Paven also has homers in 2 straight nights. 2 no-doubters as well. Now L.J. Jones takes his spot in the right-handed batter's box. First pitch that he sees from Kobe Foster, who looks in and begins his wind now, kicks and delivers. Nice breaking ball there. Catches the inner half of the plate, 0-1. LJ rarely swings at that first pitch, especially his first couple of at-bats against the starter. 0-1 now. Swung on, hit in the air to right, shallow. In on it, Del Valle makes the catch. 2 gone quickly here in this fourth. So already 2 outs here in the fourth inning, a couple of weak fly balls. Brings up Graham Brown, walked and came around to score his last time. The pitch. Split the plate, 0-1. Foster working with Hillier well, quickly into the wind and the pitch. Swung on, hit in the air to center, playable. Medium deep in out in center field is Chaka, makes the catch. Out number 3. So the Otters once again go down in order. We're through 3.5, 3-1 the score. Washington in front here on 96.9 WYR on the Otters Digital Network.
Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org. Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND CASA.com. Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812 464 7800.
Back here in the bottom half of the fourth, 3-1 Washington still with the lead here in the bottom of the fourth inning. It'll be Andrew Chick to lead us off. He hit a homer to the opposite field and left center his first time up against Braden Scott. He is responsible for all 3 runs on the board for Washington currently. Scott, other than him, has worked pretty well to this Wild Things lineup as the pitch misses inside on the fastball. It's 1-0. So Scott trying to take back authority of the inner half of the plate. 1-0 pitch. That one finds it as well. It's 1-1. Well, I mentioned the infield pull shift his last at bat, but he just hit it over everybody. It's the 1-1. Swung on and lasered to right. Well, he just did it again. 4-1 Washington, and Andrew Check has Braden Scott's number through the first 3 innings. Maybe I'll just not say anything when Andrew Check is up to the plate. 15th homer of the year for him. That one a solo shot. Gets right back to a 3-run lead for Washington. And it brings up Ethan Wilder. I guess the only positive thing about that is it's only a solo homer. Boy, Andrew Check just a laser beam out to right. Wasn't sinking until it already left the yard. The pitch taken inside by Ethan Wilder, the shortstop, 1-0. The next one, that one catches the inner half of the zone, 1-1. When after seeing those 2 swings, you start to wonder why Andrew Check isn't in the All-Star game. Well, 1-1 pitch. Wilder fouls it off and overhead. Overhead foul ball brought to you by Hez Construction. Choose the best and never regret it. So Evansville certainly going to have some more work to do. You knew that this team probably wasn't only going to score 3 runs, even with the ace on the mound as the pitch. Up and away into the backstop, 2-2. Just hope that the offense can do some work in their half of innings. Again, already through 3.5. The pitch swung on and missed, strike 3. German American Bank strikeout there for Braden Scott, his 4th already of the night. I guess the strikeout stuff's still there for Scott. Francisco Del Valle, the batter now. Well, on the bright side, Lake Erie's losing 3-1 to Schaumburg, top of the 4th, up in Avon, as the pitch is swung on and missed. Out in front was Del Valle, 0-1. Florence still walloping Brockton 6-2 currently. Next one in from the lefty and Scott. That one finds the zone, 0-2. So Braden quickly ahead, works into the windup and fires. Missing that one outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Lefty, the matchup, the pitch. Swung on, line drive into center. Back on it is Brown. Tailing, got a bad read. It's over his head and bounces up against the wall. Del Valle on his way to second. He's going to take the round and head for third. The throw in, cut off by Parks. Throw to third, but to Pierce is not going to be in time. Del Valle with a swim move. The throw beat him. Del Valle avoiding the tag on his side. And that's going to be a 1-out triple for the newest Washington Wild Thing. Brings up Jake Houts. After this series, Washington welcomes Lake Erie for their final weekend set before the All-Star break, as the first pitch is a broken bat bouncer to third, charging his Pierce. Throw to first is wide and hits the runner. It gets away. Here comes one run. On his way to second is Houts. He gets there easily. Man, oh man. The throw was low, hit off the runner and Houts. He was in the baseline, so can't get him for anything. That's going to be a error on Dennis Pierce. Man, and once again, it feels like Evansville just can't quite catch a break. Now 3 Hillier. 5-1 Washington in front, bottom of the fourth, only one away. The pitch. Up and in, leaning back was Hillier at the knees. It's 1-0. Runner in scoring position for Washington. Next pitch in from Scott. Missing outside, 2 balls and no strikes. It's one of those things where, man, when you're losing, you're on a streak, it feels like every little thing doesn't go your way, and the pitch, up and in, 3-0. As many of you know listening, I'm an avid Cleveland Guardians fan, so I know the pain. They're just coming off of a 10-game losing streak where it felt almost the exact same as this ball club, the 3-0. That one finds a zone on the inner half, 3-1. Only real difference there is, yes, they were a lot of close games, but Cleveland would struggle to score. Evansville, they're scoring runs in a lot of these ball games, just one run less. The 3-1 pitch is fouled off to the left side, 3-2. But still plenty of baseball to play. 5-1 the score. We're only in the bottom of the fourth. We know this offense can score in a hurry. Hillier awaits the payoff pitch. Swung on, shot foul into the net above the third base dugout. Stays at 3-2. Scott, the lefty, sets. And another payoff. Down and away in the turf for ball 4. Second walk against Braden Scott here in this one. Now runners on first and second with only one away. Brings up Robert Chaka. I guess the only redeeming factor in that is it sets up the double play ball to end it. So Washington scored 3 times in the first inning thanks to a homer. Andrewchek homer again here in the fourth. A solo shot. Robert Chaka stands in the top of the order. This will be his 3rd time already facing Braden Scott. First pitch that he sees, never mind. Look back towards second. They had Houts leaning out, and if there was someone covering the bag, they had him dead to rights on a pickoff move. Now the first pitch. Swung on and he popped him up to the right side. Should be playable in foul territory. Under it is Minda, makes the catch. 2 gone now here in the fourth. So now Scott just 1 out away from getting out of it. 5-1 the Washington lead, bottom of the fourth. An error made in this inning, a couple of hits as well. A homer from Andrewchek. Here's Carlos Amezquita looking to extend this fourth frame. Scott will work out of the stretch, looks towards second, and fires. Inside, 1-0. What a no pitch now to the Washington second baseman. That one's taken for a strike on the outer edge. 1-1. First and second for Washington. 4-run lead for them. The pitch. Down the middle, 1-2. This would be Washington's fifth straight win against Evansville tonight if they were to close it out again. Still very early in the ball game is the pitch. Missing high, count evened up, and deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on base. All time against this team, Evansville is 80 and 88 against them, dating back to 09. The pitch. Called strike, 3 on the inner half. So, 5th German American Bank strikeout for Braden Scott. Washington scores 2 in the inning on a couple of hits and an error. They leave 2 on base. 5-1, the Washington lead at the end of 4 here on 96.9 WYR on the Otters Digital Network.
Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800. Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life-enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org. Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VANDCASA.com.
Top of the 5th, 5-1 the score. Washington in front of the Evansville Otters, and it'll be Keenan Taylor, Logan Brown, Randy Flores, the 3-2 up here for Evansville in this top half of the 5th inning. Keenan Taylor 1 for 1. He singled in the second, but ended that inning trying to swipe third base. And the first pitch that he sees here in the 5th drops in there for a strike, 0-1 on the curveball. Washington scored 3 in the first thanks to an Andrew Check 3-run homer as the 0-1 pitch swung on, foul chopper to third base dugout, 0-2. Evansville responded with one of their own in the second, but Washington 2 just now in the bottom half of the 4th thanks to an error and then another Andrew Check homer to begin that inning. 0-2 pitch now from Kobe Foster. In the dirt, make it 1 ball and 2 strikes. Keenan Taylor entering the contest led this team in batting average at .337. 8 homers, 34 RBI, 15 doubles for him. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on, little number right back to the mound. Fielding it is Foster. Throw over to first is easily going to be in time for the first out. That's now 8 straight honors set down by Foster. Now Logan Brown, a bunt, a single, and an RBI his last time. He popped it up to the perfect spot on the infield on that bunt, to no man's land between first base bag and the mound. First pitch. That one taken down and away just missing 1-0. Left-handed hitter awaits the 1-0 pitch. Takes outside, 2 balls and no strike. And if you would have told me at the beginning of this week that you would have the weather here on Thursday that we're having right now as a 2-0, catching the zone in the outer half 2-1, I would have told you you're crazy. Yesterday it looked like we're going to get poured on. At game time, 60% chance of rain throughout the city of Washington as the 2-1. Swung on in a hard hit line drive into center, but right at Robert Chayka, who secures it for out number 2. But the rain has gone away. Woke up this morning, checked the forecast, saw pretty much a 0% chance of rain. Was happy that we were going to play baseball today. Blue skies ahead, a little bit of cloud cover, but it's very sparse. Here's Randy Flores. The pitch. Front door breaker finds the zone 0-1. And a comfortable 82 degrees at game time here in Washington. And dip down as the next pitch to Flores is in there for a strike 0-2. Now to 80 degrees. Not too much humidity in the air either up here in Pennsylvania. Western Pennsylvania, to be exact. Foster quickly ahead in the count, the 0-2 pitch. Low, did he go around? He did not, says the third base umpire, Kyle Eastman. Count 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 2 away. Top 5, 5-1, Washington in front. The pitch. Just missing outside, 2-2. Flores struck out his first time up in the second inning. Tough lefty-lefty matchup for him in just his second start in an Otters uniform. 2-2 pitch. Swung on, high fly ball into right. Twisting down the line. If it's fair, it is just foul. One hop to the wall. A really good attempt by Del Valle down the line, sliding into that chain link fence in foul territory. Out down the right field line, but couldn't come up with it, and Flores with a second opportunity. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Nobody on base. And the pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So Flores goes down swinging in Evansville for the third inning in a row. Goes down in order. We now go to the bottom of the fifth, 5-1 Washington. Here on 96.9 WYAR on the Otters Digital Network.
Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VANDCASA.com. Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and More can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800. Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life-enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org.
Bottom of the fifth inning coming up, 5-1 Washington. Braden Scott still on the bump. He will face Tommy Caulfield, Wagner Lagrange, and the oh-so-dangerous Andrew Check here in this 5th inning. Tommy Caulfield to lead us off. 1 for 1, a single and a walk. Washington entering today first place in the Central Division at 29-24 as the first pitch into Caulfield. Taken outside, 1 ball and no strikes. They, at the beginning of this series, were in second place as the 1-0. Check swing, foul ball, 1-1. Just half a game back of Lake Erie, but thanks to now 2 straight walk-off wins for them and a couple of timely Lake Erie losses, they're back ahead of this Central Division that they have been leading for most of the year by a game and a half. The 1-0 in there, 1-2. Evansville 7.5 back, but again, comparatively, when you look at the rest of the divisions in this league, it's certainly not an unfathomable amount of games to be back as the 1-2. Up and in, leaning back was Caulfield, 2-2. We would certainly like them to win that series against Gateway this weekend when Gateway comes to town, but man, Gateway's been good. So that's going to be another tough 3-game set for Evansville as the 2-2 pitch. Swung on, shot foul the opposite way down the third base side, 2-2. I mean, you look at this road trip. They had Schaumburg on 4th of July weekend, packed house, hard place to play anyway. Then here in Washington, Washington's been at the top of this division all year. And then you get Gateway at home. Just a tough 9-game stretch, the pitch. Missing outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. So certainly not a part of the schedule where you look at and then you look at the results and you say, man, those should not be losses. 3-2. Just missing downstairs for ball 4 and a leadoff walk now to Tommy Caulfield. But certainly you look at the scores, you see how close they've been, and you wonder just what has gone wrong, and a lot of it has just been misfortune for Evansville during this 8-game stretch. Again, yes, almost like beating a dead horse about this topic, but it's the first pitch into Lagrange. Swung on and bounced to short. Should be a double play. Flip to second. Throw to first in time, just barely beating Lagrange for a 6-4-3 twin killing here in the 5th inning. And boy, that's exactly what the doctor ordered for Braden Scott, bringing up the man who's got him twice already in Andrew Check. Well, Check 2 homers in his first 2 at-bats. I guess you could say he's on pace to break the Frontier League record for homers in a ball game. First pitch to Check is outside, 1-0. You saw J.J. Cruz launch 3 homers against Schaumburg on Independence Day as the 1-0 pitch. In there, it's 1-1. I mean, I almost don't believe that. In the situation now to see possibly it's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on, fouled back, 1-2. See 2 players with 3 homers in the same game in the same week. A ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch from Scott. Up high, missing. 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Check responsible for 4 of the 5 runs on the board. The pitch. Outside, 3-2. And those first 2 homers, I mean, they were easy swings. The first one, the opposite field gap. And that last one, just a liner that jumped off the bat of Check. Here's the payoff. Missing outside, ball 4. So Check reaches via the free pass. 4th walk here in this ball game for Braden Scott. Now Ethan Wilder to bat. Right-handed hitter. 0 for 2 has struck out twice. Check on first. The pitch. Swung on, hit in the air to right. Pretty well. Back nearing the line is Benson and makes the catch at the warning track for out number 3. So Scott with a couple of walks, but works around it. No one scores here in the 5th. We go to the 6th. 5-1 Washington here on 96.9 WYIR on the Otters Digital Network.
Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org. Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and More can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800.
Top half of the 6th, 5-1 Washington here at EQT Park in Washington, Pennsylvania, the far eastern part of Pennsylvania, just outside of Pittsburgh. Or excuse me, the western part of Pennsylvania, man. North, south, east, west. Never eat soggy waffles. Gotta remember that. Come on. David Mindham in the top of the order to up. They trail by 5 to the Otters here in the top of the 6th. Foster's working well. Begins his windup here against Mindham and delivers. That one missing low. It's a ball and no strikes. Foster has sent down 10 straight Evansville Otters, spanning back to the last out of the 2nd inning as the 1-0 pitch. Swung on, popped in the air down the left side, but it is well out of play, and it's going to be 1 ball and 1 strike. So Foster seems to be right back to his old self against the Evansville Otters team. Man, he has just been an Otters dominator in his Frontier League career as the 1-1 pitch. Swung on, grounded to second, fielded by Amezquita. Throw to first, in there. 1 away. Evansville, one of 2 teams in the Frontier League with 2-8 in their last 10. The other one is Sussex County, who is still, they've lost 7 in a row, still sitting comfortably in first place in the Eastern Division. And that just tells you how big of a lead they had before that streak they're on currently. Now the first pitch to the now batting Dennis Pierce. In there for a strike, 0-1. A lot of the leaders in this league, boy, they have dominant leads. Quebec has an 11-game lead in the North as the 0-1 is outside 1-1. Well, Gateway and Schaumburg, they've been battling for first place all year in the West, but it's really just a 2-team race right now in the Western Division between Gateway and Schaumburg. Mississippi on the outside looking in, 6 games back. They are over 500. The 1-1. Swung on, fouled back. It's 1-2. But in the grand scheme of things, when you look at last place teams, Evansville the closest to their division leader. So the Central's still up for the taking, despite it right now being 2 teams that look like the better of the 4. 1-2 pitch as never mind, time called. Now at this point, again, you really were hoping for a great start to July. And obviously, it's been rough, the 1-2. Swung on, broken back grounder to second. Amezquita once again fields and once again throws. 2 away. Brings up JT Benson. And again, with a new playoff system, so the 2 division winners and then the 2 next teams by way of winning percentage get in. Benson awaits the first pitch and takes low. 1 ball and no strikes. But Evansville currently sitting 10 games under 500 at 21-31. Talked about it a little bit yesterday as the 1-0 pitch in from Foster is swung on and hit foul down the right side, 1-1. But this coaching staff has been so adamant that this team is good enough to win games and make the postseason. 5-1 the score, top of the 6th. Evansville trails it by 4. Benson calls time here in the top of the 6th. Evansville scored 1 in the second. That's all they could muster. Washington with 3 runs in the first, 2 in the bottom of the 4th to get their 5 runs. 4 of which coming off the bat of Andrew Check, the 1-1. Swung on and missed way out in front of the breaker was Benson, and he'll have to reset 1-2 the count. Again, that slow breaker from Foster only reaching 67 miles per hour. And the 1-2 pitch. Outside, 2-2. Deuces wild again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. Top 6, 5-1 the score. Foster trying to work through a really good 6 innings. The pitch. Outside. Count is full to Benson. Benson 4 hits yesterday. His only 4 hit game this year. Stands in on the right side, and the left-handed Foster takes a deep breath. Begins the windup and the payoff pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. 4th strikeout for Kobe Foster. And the Otters once again go down 1, 2, and 3 here in the 6th. We go to the bottom half, 5-1 the score. Washington in front here on 96.9 WYIR and the Otters Digital Network.
Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life-enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org. Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VANDCASA.com. Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800.
5-1, Washington is in front, bottom half of the 6th. It'll be Del Valle, Couch, and Hillier, the 3 due up for these Wild Things. Braden Scott still on the mound, working into the 6th. As we've come to expect, the pitch. That one in there for a strike, 0-1. That's the one thing about a Braden Scott start. You can pretty much guarantee 5+ really the past month as the 0-1. Swung on and smacked in the air, foul down the left side. 0-2. The past month or so, you can guarantee him working into the seventh, which is so valuable in this league to preserve your bullpen arms as the 0-2. Swung on, hit softly in the air down the left field line, twisting and just foul, making its way to the Otters bullpen. 0-2 still. Mentioned the toughness of the schedule for Evansville recently. And again, doesn't get better after the All-Star break. Go on a 9-game road trip. You play Lake Erie, second in the division. They've been really good. You play Quebec, who is the best team in the league. And then you play Ottawa as the 0-2. Swung on and missed, strike three. High fastball got Del Valle guessing. 6 strikeouts now for Braden Scott. But then Ottawa, they're not a small task either. 9-1 in their last 10. They are now in third place in the North when just a couple of weeks ago they were dead last by a good margin. The pitch inside, 1 ball and no strike. Jake Houts, the batter. Houts reached on an error in the fourth inning that scored a run in that 2-run fourth. Scott, the next pitch to him, swung on and missed. 1 ball and 1 strike. Scott, left-handed thrower, steps back, kicks and fires. Missing it low again. It's 2-1. The Otters a game back of Florence, who's in fourth. They're 6.5 back total. Is Florence, as that one misses down and away, 3-1. Evansville 7.5. But our good friends over at Brockton have decided to tie the ball game up against Florence 6-6. So the pitch swung on, grounded foul, 3-2. So let's go Brockton, hoping they beat Florence here tonight for Evansville's sake. So all Evansville fans are Brockton Rocks fans as well here tonight, hoping Evansville's able to come back in this one, pull it off, and gain a game on Florence, tie for third going into the home series tomorrow. The payoff pitch. Swung on, fought off foul, first base dugout, 3-2 still. Again, Gateway coming to town this weekend for the final home games before the All-Star break. The pitch. Swung on, hit in the air to right, pretty deep, but playable. Back on it, Benson makes the catch. 2 outs now here in the sixth. Remind you of the game times this weekend. 6:35 on Friday and Saturday, and then 5:05 Sunday game time. Those are the last 3 home games until July 29th through the 31st. So make sure to come out and see your Evansville Otters as the first pitch is swung on and fouled back from the catcher 3 Hillier. As the second half of the year, not as many home games as the first half. Only 12 home games in the month of August, and then as the next pitch is fouled off as well, 0-2. Then 6 more here in the month of July. Nothing in 2 the count, 2 away. Bottom of the 6th, 5-1 Washington in front. Nobody on base. Infield and outfield playing Hillier straight up. The pitch from Scott. Swung on, fouled off to the left side once more. So we'll do the 0-2 pitch again. Despite the score, a beautiful night for baseball here in Washington as the pitch swung on and missed, strike 3. Seven strikeouts now for Braden Scott, sends him down in order. We now go to the back third to the top of the 7th, 5-1 Washington. Here on 96.9 WYIR and the Otters Digital Network.
Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812 464 7800. Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org. Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND
Top half of the seventh. Kobe Foster will work in this seventh inning. He will face Pavin Parks, L.J. Jones, and Graham Brown, the 3-2 for Evansville. And the Otters haven't had a runner on base since the second inning. They look to change their fortunes here in the back third and here in the seventh. It's been a really well pitched game, really from either side. Braden Scott has only been tagged by pretty much one guy in an error, and the one guy being Andrew Check with 2 homers. Pavin Parks awaits the first pitch here from Kobe Foster, who obliges and delivers. Really slow bender in, 0-1. That one at 64 miles an hour. Every time I see 60 something up on the radar, surprises me. I don't think it should anymore. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Foster as he just now begins the wind. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, I told you the Florence and Brockton score. I guess some other scores around the league. Mississippi in front of Windy City 4-2. Tri-City beating Ottawa 6-4. Trois-Rivières somehow over Quebec 6-1. The 1-1 pitch. Swung on, popped up in the air, softly hit, playable by Wilder, the shortstop. 1 away. New York over New Jersey 2-0. Gateway beating Joliet 5-1. Way earlier today during, I'm assuming, what was their education day, as it began at 10:45 in the morning. Here's L.J. Jones. The first pitch that he sees is swung on and grounded to third, fielded by Caulfield. Throw across the diamond in time. 2 gone. That is now 15 straight Otters set down by Foster. Sussex County looking to end their losing streak. They are up 6-1 over Down East right now. The pitch to Brown finds the zone, 0-1. Foster has just been dominant since that second inning where he gave up that 1 run. The pitch swung on, line drive into right center. That's going to get down for a hit. Graham Brown hustling into second. The throw in from the center fielder Chaka is not going to be in time. Brown in there standing. First hit since the second inning for Evansville. This is a Deerhead double-decker double. 17th double of the year for Graham Brown. So maybe that wakes up this offense. As now Keenan Taylor will bat. He is 1 for 2. Evansville down 5-1 here in the top of the 7th. They have a runner on scoring position at second base. No one up on either bullpen. The pitch swung on, grounded foul and wide of the third base bag. It's 0-1. Nothing in one, the count, 2 away. Here it is. That one just missing low. A ball and a strike. Infield straight up, same with the outfield against Taylor. Left fielder in Lagrange playing a little deep thanks to Taylor's 8 home runs of the year, but nothing insane. Foster, the 1-1 pitch. That one's low, pops out of the mid of Hillier, but Brown not able to take third as Hillier kept it close enough. Count 2-1. Keenan Taylor trying to get his 20th 2-out RBI this year. Leads the team with 19 currently. Just shows you how good he's been in big situations. And mentioned it earlier this series. It all started with that walk-off homer against Schaumburg early in the year. Since that point, he has not looked back, and he has been one of, if not the best bat in this Evansville order. Him and JT Benson just anchor this lineup whenever it's going good. And even throughout this past week, where things haven't gone their way, both Keenan and JT have kept up their production. 2-1 pitch. Outside, 3 balls and a strike. Foster 1 out away from 7 strong innings of work here at EQT Park. Behind the count, 3-1 to Taylor, and the pitch. Swung on, grounded foul, once again wide of third. We'll have a payoff pitch. Runner on second, 5-1 the score, top 7. Evansville trails. Foster agrees, hands above the belt. Sets and out of the stretch. Fires, runner takes off. Low ball 4. So Keenan Taylor reaches via the walk, and Graham Brown swipes third to go along with it. So runners now at the corners for Logan Brown. An RBI bunt single all the way back in the second inning. Lefty-lefty matchup. The pitch. Swung on, grounded up the middle, sneaks through for a base hit. Here comes Graham Brown. He's going to score easily. Second RBI single of the night for Logan Brown. 5-2. Evansville gets one back here in the 7th. On second to second goes Keenan Taylor. So some good 2-out hitting here from Evansville. A double, a walk, and then a single up the gut to get back into the score column here in the top of the 7th inning. Here's the pitch to Flores. Swung on and missed way out in front. Flores 0 for 2 has struck out a couple of times. Foster looks back towards second at Taylor, and the 0-1 pitch to Randy Flores. Swung on line drive, but one hops to the first baseman check. He fields the throw to the covering Foster not going to be in time, so we'll see how it's scored. They're going to call that an error on Andrew Check. So now bases are loaded with two away for the leadoff man, David Mindham. Well, and how about that? Evansville. There will be a meeting on the mound. Work now beginning in the Washington bullpen. And boy, one big swing of the bat from Mindham here with two away, and Evansville will be right back in this ball game. Big time error there from Andrew Check in a timely situation. On first is Flores. On second is Logan Brown. On third, Keenan Taylor. Mindham tonight is 0 for 2. He walked back in the first. He's grounded out twice since then. The pitch. That one is low. It's a ball and no strikes. And with two away, runners going on contact, so you would imagine something in the gaps. Most likely scores all three with Flores' speed. The pitch. That one catching the zone on the outer edge, 1-1. This is certainly the biggest at bat of the night for the Otters, without question. Foster, deep breath. Works out of the windup. The pitch. Outside, it's 2 balls and a strike. Dennis Pierce stands on deck. Mindham stands back in. Foster steps off. That'll be his first disengagement. Now he looks into Hillier and agrees. Begins the wind and the pitch. Swung on, fouled off, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases juiced for Evansville. They trail by 3, 5-2. Top of the 7th. The pitch into Mindham. Swung on, hit in the air to left, slicing down the left field line. Over to it, Lagrange, but he lets it fall out of play and foul. Count stays at 2-2. Infield straight up. Shortstop actually and Wilder playing slightly up the middle against Mindham. The 2-2. Just missing outside. The appeal down did not go, did Mindham. Payoff pitch will be incoming. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases loaded. 3-run lead for Washington at 5-2 here in the top of the 7th inning. Time call. So now with this being a payoff pitch, all runners will have a head start. So certainly something in the gap will score all 3. And a single will score 2. The pitch. Swung on, hit in the air to left center. Ranging in on it, Lagrange makes the catch. To a line drive out to end the inning, and the Otters drain the bases loaded. They do get one back on a couple of hits. We now go to the bottom of the seventh, 5-2. The score. Evansville trails here 96.9 WIR on the Otters Digital Network.
Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and More can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800. Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org.
Britton Scott out for the seventh inning. He's pitched well. Despite the 5 runs given up, only 4 of them being earned. And those 4 earned runs coming off the bat of Andrew Check. So, and it's one guy, so you'll take it. The top of the order due up for Washington here in the bottom of the seventh. Cheka, Amezquita, and then Caulfield as the pitch is in there for a strike, 0-1. It's been an interesting ball game, well pitched ball game as the 0-1 inside 1-1. Not necessarily expecting, at least the way Scott is pitched, if you just put that in a vacuum, you expect maybe 1 or 2 runs as the next one is popped up and drifts foul, 1-2. But given the circumstances and the great game that Andrew Check has put together, it's a deficit right now that Evansville is going to have a hard time coming back from. It's only a 3-run deficit, but the way Kobe Foster's been pitching and the way the bullpen has been is the 1-2. High, 2-2 for Washington. It's just a tough ask right now for a team that's struggling. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung on, foul tipped, and out of the mid of Brown. Stays at 2-2. Still action for Washington in their bullpen. Nothing going for Evansville on their side. Out of the windup, Scott works, kicks, and fires. Swung on, tapped foul at the plate, 2-2. Looks like Hector Garcia up and loosening for Washington. 2-2 pitch now. Swung on, grounded, just foul down the third baseline. 2-2 still. Boy, that is one of the closer foul balls I've seen this year. Now there's action going for Evansville. Nolan Thebe is loosening. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Here it is. Inside ball 3. So Cheka really making Braden Scott work here in this bottom half of the 7th. Wonder how short the leash is for Scott as the pitch. Swung on and he popped him up behind the plate. Logan Brown under it. Throws the mask away, has it, makes the catch. 1 gone. Now Carlos Amezquita. Amezquita is 0 for 3, reached on a fielder's choice and came around to score all the way back in the first. This is fourth time he's faced Scott as the pitch is inside 1-0. Just shows you how much trust that Braden Scott has going a fourth time through the lineup. The pitch. Swung on, fouled right back. It's 1-1. Especially because most of the other starters in the rotation would not be given this seventh inning facing the top of the lineup for a fourth time. Finds the zone up and away corner, 1-2. But Scott has gained the trust over several years in the blue and white. 1-2 pitch. Swung on, fouled off near the Washington bullpen. We'll do it again at 1-2. On deck is Tommy Caulfield, who has reached all three times he's been to the plate. So you wonder how quickly they're going to get Phoebe ready. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on, broken back grounder, foul, and that'll give Amezquita a new bat. Remember, fans? At Winston Moore Lumber, you can get your lumber at Niehaus Lumber. So 1-2 the count, just one away. Florence now right back out ahead of Brockton, 10-6, bottom of the seventh. Boomers still lead it in Lake Erie, 3-1. Amezquita ready with the new bat. Steps in on the right-handed side, touches either edge of the plate with the bat head and the 1-2. Swung on, fouled off again. Boy, the Wild Things doing a really good job here in this bottom of the seventh. Fighting off pitches, at least the first two batters have. The pitch. Swung on and missed, strike three. Eighth German American Bank strikeout for Braden Scott. Boy, he's cooking on the mound right now. That's now 6 straight starts where Scott has had 8 or more strikeouts. Now Tommy Caulfield, a single and 2 walks for him on the evening. The pitch. That one down and away, 1-0. You'd imagine if he lets up a base runner here that Scott's day would be done, given how close this game is. It's the 1-0 pitch. Misses low, 2-0. And if you wanted to make a case, Lagrange is 0 for 3 against Scott, who's on deck, but the 2-0 pitch. Swung on, grounded up the middle, base hit. So Caulfield, now 2 singles, has reached base all 4 times he's been to the plate. And brings up Lagrange. As mentioned, 0 for 3. We'll see if they let Scott face him. Peterson not out of the dugout. So they will let Scott face Lagrange. Boy, you would think this is his last batter. With 2 away in the inning, Andrew Check on deck. First pitch into Lagrange from Scott. That one misses inside, 1-0. You'd be hard pressed to put him out there against Check again, given what Check has done to the plate. The pitch. Inside, 2 balls and no strikes. And Scott showing some signs of fatigue here in this 7th. Two balls, no strikes, 2 outs. Runner on first base for Washington. The pitch. Swung on, bounced softly wide of third, 2-1. 5-2. Washington in front by 3, bottom of the 7th inning. Washington with 5 runs on 6 hits, 1 error. Evansville, 2 runs on 4 hits, 1 error as well. Scott sets, hands just above the belt. And the 2-1. Runner takes off. Swung on and bounced to third. Charging is Pierce. Throw to first in time. Third out. So that ends the seventh. Scott works through seven. Works through a hit as well in the inning. 5-2 the score. Washington in front here on 96.9 WYR on the Otters Digital Network.
Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org. Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and More can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800.
Hector Garcia, the new pitcher for Washington. Boy, Kobe Foster looked good tonight. Went 7 strong innings, giving up 4 hits, 1 run, walked 3, and struck out 4. At one point, he had retired 15 straight Evansville batters. But he hands it off to Hector Garcia. He will face Dennis Pierce. And the first pitch to Pierce from Garcia. Missing, never mind, it's a high strike. 0-1. Saw Garcia earlier this week as the 0-1 pitch now. Missing down and away. Check swing did Pierce, but did not go around. Says the first base umpire. In that one inning of work he had against Evansville on Tuesday, did give up a run, but punched out 3. He sets, works out of the stretch exclusively. The pitch. Swung on and missed. Behind it was Pierce, 1-2. On the year, Garcia, a 3.63 ERA in 27 innings. He struck out 33 batters. So he's been good. He's been nigh unhittable at home. The 1-2. Swung on, fouled right back. His home and road splits at home an 0.79 ERA, 2-0 record. On the road, he's 1-2 with a 5.75. So he really likes pitching in the top of innings. The 1-2 pitch. Just missing outside. Boy, that was close. Pearson might have gotten away with one. 2-2. So Dennis will look to take advantage. The pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Garcia with his first strikeout here in the 8th. Brings JT Benson to the dish. Benson 0 for 3. He struck out twice. He lined out back in the first. The pitch. Swung on, popped foul, 0-1. So now Pierce and Benson both in danger of losing their on-base streaks. David Mindham with his walk in the first extended his to 18. Again, the longest of any Otter this season. 0-1 the count, top of the 8th. 5-2. Evansville trails it 1 away. Garcia with the pitch. Swung on and missed. Way behind it was Benson on the 90-mile-per-hour heater, 0-2. Benson does have an 11-game on-base streak currently active. This likely his last at bat. The pitch outside, 1-2 strikes. But we'll see. Evansville has struggled offensively tonight. One of the few nights during the streak that they have. The 1-2. Missing outside by a whisker. 2-2. Garcia now in an inning and a third against Evansville has struck out all 4 outs that he's gotten. The 2-2 swung on and missed, make that all 5. Second strikeout of the night for Garcia. Now Pavin Parks. Parks 0 for 3 also. Fly out, pop out, pop out. Phoebe's still warming up for Evansville. You would assume that it's him in the bottom half of this 8th inning. This is the first time Pavin Parks and really all of these Evansville batters facing a right-handed pitcher. The first one missing. 1-0. Garcia steps off. Tells him he can't see the sign. And we're all good now. Infield slightly playing Pavin to pull, but nothing outrageous. The 1-0. Calling a strike on the outer half. 1-1 strike. Evansville trying to avoid losing their 9th straight and falling 8.5 games back of this division going into the final 3 games of the first half. The 1-1 pitch now. That one catching the back door, 1-2. So Parks behind in the count. Garcia looking to strike out his 6th Otter of the week. The pitch. Swung on, broken bat, pop up, foul territory, third base side. Hustling over Caulfield. He slides, can't make the catch as it bounces up into the netting. So count stays 1-2. Parks will have to get a new bat as all he's holding right now is the handle. The barrel exploding on that swing. It's a new one. Put some tar on it to give him a better grip. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the 8th. 5-2, a 3-run Washington lead. The Evansville team has struggled to get on base, let alone score so far tonight. Only 4 hits for them. Garcia nods in agreement to Hilliard. Steps off, though. So a meeting on the mound between Garcia and Hilliard, just in front now, both retreating back to their respective positions. Parks stands back in on the left side. A ball, 2 strikes to count. The pitch. Swung on, fouled off towards the first base side. Count stays at 1-2. Garcia sets, fires, swung on and missed, strike three. So Garcia strikes out the side in the eighth. We now go to the bottom half. Score stays 5-2, Washington in front. Here on 96.9 WYIR and the Otters Digital Network.
Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812 464 7800. Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org. Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND
Nolan Phoebe on the mound for Evansville here in the bottom half of the eighth inning. Braden Scott's line finishes going 7 innings, giving up 6 hits, 5 runs, only 4 of them earned, striking out 8 and walking 4. Phoebe enters. He will face Andrew Check, Ethan Wilder, and Francisco Del Valle. Check, 2 homers and a walk. Talk about a good day at the office. Phoebe, last time out was against this Washington team. He went an inning and 2/3. On Tuesday is the pitch. Finds the zone. Nothing in 1. Gave up a hit in those 1 2/3. Walked 2, struck out 1, gave up a run. On the year in 13 appearances, has a 3 ERA. The pitch. Up and away, 1-1. Andrew Herbert warming for Washington. Phoebe sets and out of the stretch delivers the 1-1 to Check. Swung on and right through it. 1-2. 5-2 the score, bottom of the 8th. The pitch from Phoebe. Popped foul and out of play overhead. Overhead foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best and never regret it. 1-2 coming in from Phoebe. Here it is. Swung on, major league pop-up on the infield. Right side, under it is David Mindam, makes the catch in foul territory for the first out. Boy, that one was high up there. The reason they call them major league pop-ups. Well, Brockton trying to fight back against Florence at Thomas More Stadium. 10-7 now the score. Quebec got one back as well. Trois-Rivières still up 6-2. Schaumburg extends their lead, get an insurance run in the 9th, 4-1. Here's Ethan Wilder. First pitch he sees is taken for a strike on the outer edge, 0-1. Evansville in danger of losing their 9th straight here tonight. Phoebe trying to take us to the 9th, keeping the score. The 0-1 fought foul the opposite way, 0-2. Nothing in 2, the count, 1 away. The pitch, just missing outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Next one into Wilder. Fouled right back into the screen. 1-2 still. 5-2 the score. Bottom 8. Here it is from Phoebe. Swung on, line drive, picked on one hop by Parks. Throw across to first in time, 2 away. So 2 quick outs here for Phoebe in this inning. Francisco Del Valle will bat. He had a triple back in the 4th. 1 for 3 with that triple. The pitch, outside, a ball and no strikes. Phoebe, a guy that can work multiple innings, has been used in late game situations like this. The 1-0. Swung on, hit in the air to right pretty well. Back on it, Benson in right center. Nearing the track, making the catch, 3 gone. So 3 up, 3 down here in the 8th. Evansville goes to the top of the 9th. And they need 3 to tie 4 to take the lead. 5-2 the lead for Washington. You're on 96.9 WIR on the Otters Digital Network.
Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND CASA.com. Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and More can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800. Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life-enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org.
Andrew Herbert enters looking for his 7th save of the year. He pitched the final 2 innings last night, getting the win against Evansville, on Tuesday night, getting the win against Evansville in that extra inning matchup. He enters with a 3.63 ERA. 22 1/3. He struck out 21 batters. This will be his 15th appearance of the season. See how he does here in the top of the 9th, trying to close out Evansville, who trails by 3, 5-2. L.J. Jones, Graham Brown, Keenan Taylor, the 3-2 up for the Otters. And the pitch inside, nearly got a piece of L.J. Jones, but he bent out of the way, and it's 1-0. In the 8th, Hector Garcia struck out the side as the 1-0 pitch. Swung on and missed. Way behind the 90-mile-per-hour heater was Jones, and it's 1-1. Herbert did look good in that outing against Evansville on Tuesday. Worked through a lot of traffic in the 10th. The 1-1. Swung on, hit in the air to center, but playable, fairly shallow right center. Heading in on it, the center fielder Chaka makes the catch, 1 gone. Now Graham Brown doubled in the seventh, a walk in the second, flew out in the fourth, so 1 for 2. That double in the seventh broken. 0 for 15 streak for this team in this game. First pitch he takes outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Next one from Herbert. Missing down and away as well, 2-0. Mentioned it yesterday during the ninth inning, but Evansville has only scored 7 total runs as the 2-0 pitch. Up and in, had him bending back at the knees, 3-0. 7 total runs in the ninth inning this year. They've played 52 games, the 3-0, in there for a strike 3-1. This, the 53rd. 3-1 pitch, swung on, popped foul, and right above the press box, 3-2. And yes, you win a lot of home games. You don't get as many opportunities to score in the ninth, but just such a good plethora amount of opportunities on the road to score. The payoff pitch. Down and away, ball 4. So Graham Brown reaches for the third time here tonight. Maybe it'll spark the rally that Evansville needs. 5-2, Washington in front, top of the ninth. Now Keenan Taylor to bat. And again, the frustration with this losing streak and with all the circumstances that surround it. The frustration comes from that this team, as the first pitch from Herbert is taken for a strike on the outer edge, 0-1. This team is not 9 losses in a row bad. They just aren't. So the fact that this streak has hit them when it has, man, the 0-1 inside 1-1. And certainly this streak coming after a sweep against Flores where this team looked nearly unbeatable. The 1-1. Swung on, fouled off near the Washington bullpen, 1-2. But I guess that's the maddening nature of this game that we call baseball. Day in, day out, new challenges. Never one game is the same. Always very difficult. The 1-2 pitch from Herbert. Just missing outside. Boy, that was close. 2-2. Really good take from Keenan. Count evened up at 2 apiece. 1 away. Runner on first base is Graham Brown. Evansville trails by 3, top of the ninth. The pitch from Herbert out of the stretch. Down and away. 3-2 now. Well, Logan Brown stands on deck. He is the only 2 RBI of the night for Evansville. Payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Taylor gets tied up on an up and in fastball. First strikeout for Herbert. 2 away here in the ninth. Now Logan Brown just trying to keep the game alive. Infield straight up. The pitch. Swung on, hit in the air to right. That should do it. Under it is Del Valle, makes the catch, and that's the ball game. So Evansville falls in this one by a final score of 5-2. That's their 9th loss in a row. Evansville got their 2 runs on 4 hits. They did commit an error. Washington with 5 runs on 6 hits. They committed an error as well. Stay tuned for the Papa John's post-game show. When we come back, we'll talk more about it here on 96.9 WYR on the Otters Digital Network.
Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org. Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND
Welcome into the Papa John's postgame show. Papa John's, the official sponsor of the Otters pregame and postgame shows, available every game night, 20 minutes before and 10 minutes after each Otters game on the Otters Digital Network, the home team network, and on 96.9 WYIR. 5-2, Washington wins this one, this time within the regulatory 9 innings. They scored 5 runs on just 6 hits. They committed an error. Evansville, with their 2 runs on 4 hits, they committed an error also. That's now 9 losses in a row for this Evansville team, and man, it's just this past week on the road, it has been painful. Really, all 6 games, other than one in Schaumburg, that 18-4 mashing, were winnable. This game, very winnable tonight. Kobe Foster just had his A game on, and the offense couldn't figure him out. The games last night and on Tuesday, also very winnable ball game. July 4th in Schaumburg. That's a ball game you have to win up 5 going into the 8th. In the final game in Schaumburg, a 1-run contest, 4-3 the final, that got rained out, also a winnable ball game. Just little things that didn't go their way. And again, when you're on a losing streak like this, boy, oh boy, it feels like every break goes against you. And that's just kind of the nature of baseball, winning and losing. But man, again, this coaching staff adamant that this team is good enough to make a playoff run. And just they this team talent wise, this team is not 9 losses in a row bad. They just aren't. They aren't 21-33 or 21-32 bad. They just aren't, and it's one of those things that really hurts when you look at the talent on this roster, the guys on this roster, specifically on the offensive end, and not being able to get results. Yes, sports a very results driven business, and you look at the results and you just look at the paper, and someone on the outside looking in thinks the team is not very good, when in reality the players, the individual pieces are great. They just haven't found a way to put it all together on the road yet this season. There's a couple of good offensive performances tonight. Graham Brown with a double and 2 walks. And then Logan Brown had 2 RBI singles, including an RBI bunt single for him. Pitching wise, boy, Braden Scott continued his really good stretch of pitching, even though he didn't get the quality start. He went 7 innings, giving up only 6 hits, 4 earned runs, 5 runs total, striking out 8, walking 4. Obviously, the 2 home runs from Andrew Check tonight were the difference in this one. He was responsible for 4 of the 5 Washington runs by himself. Nolan Thebe coming in and locking it down out of the bullpen as well in his 8th inning of work. He went 1 inning in that 8th, didn't strike out anybody, but got them 1, 2, and 3. Evansville falls to 21-32 now. They are 8.5 games back of first place Washington, who got their 30th win here tonight. They are now 30-24. Thank you for listening to the Papa John's postgame show. Papa John's, the official sponsor of the Otters pregame and postgame shows, available every game night, 20 minutes before and 10 minutes after each Otters game on the Otters Digital Network, the home team network, and on 96.9 WYIR. So with that, I'm Riley Angel. Thank you so much for tuning in here on this Thursday evening. Tomorrow, a home series beginning against the Gateway Grizzlies, the final home series before the All-Star break. That the tomorrow the 11th, and Saturday the 12th, and Sunday the 13th. With that, I'm Riley Angel. Thank you for listening, and as always, have a good night.